DeAndre Swift. He's coming off a historic game, topping Adrian Peterson's 2007 mark of 296 rushing yards. It's the Eagles and the Commanders, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season, obviously. A perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you're starting to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And no run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. The Commanders' offense set to go to work, and they're led by the veteran who's bounced around a bit in season number 8 now. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Brissett going to go to the air right away. Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. This is 2nd and 8. Hurts. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Arnold. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. DeAndre Swift, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. He's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You look at this Eagle defense. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week. That pressure on the QB is key. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game. It's certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here's Ward to return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Eagles hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down. Swift going to try up the middle and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. And that will be incomplete. The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Eligible receiver downfield. Awesome.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brissett. And this pass broken up. The contact right on time there, and now 4th down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here are the Eagles to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Swift. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. But you look at this defense, and they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Once again, it's Swift. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Sheds off the tackle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. That's complete, right around the 8. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Throwing is Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Brissett on first down. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Hey, check, go.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. That one complete out to Dotson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Out of the gun, Brissett. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first. They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Hurts throw there taken in by Smith.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
May not be the first name you think of with the Eagles offense, but Smith had an incredible 2022. 11th in the NFL in catches, 9th in yards as the #2 option in a run-heavy offense. First down there from one of the game's best young receivers.
Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. 2nd down. Here's Hurts.
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, it's Hurts.
Flush. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Jalen Hurts with another touchdown rushing. 13 touchdowns, led all quarterbacks last year on the ground. No one else had more than 8. And, of course, we all remember the 3-touchdown game in the Super Bowl. So called running plays or scrambles, Jalen Hurts is dangerous.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, I'm up there.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On third down, Brissett. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. On first and 10, it's Robinson. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle. Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 5.
Here we go, let's go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second and 5.
Go.
Throwing, Brissett. Throw right side complete to Dotson. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sat back at the 38. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Under pressure, they got him again. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. A touchdown run there for Leonard Fournette. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Adam Thielen, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Cortland Sutton, a touchdown reception. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 21.
No touch that.
Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And he's brought down, getting this. The 35. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the gun, here's Swift. Running. That time as he takes us all the way down to the 37.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
On first down, Hurts.
He's got Smith here. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 8. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Touchdown! A.J. Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
kill. Hey, kill. Hey, kill. Got it.
Brissett to throw on first. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Brissett. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On the return is Ward. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Escaping the pressure right. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. Hurts. It's caught. Smith. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Got him in, it's Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. How about Jonathan Allen there, pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he used his quickness to make a play.
Here's Hurts to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Arnold. Touchdown, Eagles. Dan Arnold from 13 yards out. And the Eagles have opened the lead up to 30.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Washington offense back out there. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto, and so the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Take it in at the 22. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. In motion right is Brown. They'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game. I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. This is caught. Touchdown! Devontae Smith, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Oh, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
19, set, go.
First down, Brissett. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Brissett on 3rd and 2. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Now left side on the swing pass. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll throw again. Brissett. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And the Commanders first down.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
A second down throw for Brissett. To the sideline and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a vertical.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Reed Blankenship drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for Philadelphia, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0, and they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Commanders, they'll sink now to 0-4, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.